everybody, it's Sheila. I was getting ready to start on my little notebook that I keep for the year, and I thought I would turn on the camera and record the process. You may or may not be interested, but it's something that I keep. I talked a little bit about it yesterday on my last video of the flip through for the December daily. I've had this, I might have bought it at the end of last year. If not, it was the year before. I don't know if it came from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, Joann's. I'm not sure. I do know it's like, I think it was like Studio 52 or something. So, if you're interested. It has the dot paper. I don't think the dots pick up on the film, but it has the dots on the paper. I've divided it into 5 sections. My goal this year is to build my YouTube channel, and in addition to that, I hope to, trying to fix the light here so don't have that big glare. I think it's just on this. Yeah. I plan to build my YouTube along with my Etsy. So what I plan to use this for, and I keep a notebook every year. I keep it next to me wherever I am. I write down my ideas. If I'm watching YouTube, if there's tutorials or something that I want to visit again, I'll make a note of that. So I've divided this into 5 sections. Plan to have one for Etsy, one for YouTube, one for ideas and projects, one for just general notes, and I think this year I'm going to keep track of all the money I spend on craft supplies. Something I'm interested in, something I hope that my husband is not. But anyway, what I've done, I've already taken, I don't know if it was the front or the back. It must have been the back cover. I took the back cover off. And I'm just going to turn this around, take the front cover off. I plan to cover it. Don't really know. Oh, well, I have an idea of what I'm using to cover it with. What am I doing wrong here? I'm going to add some pockets to it, that type of thing for each section. And then I'm going to do something like I've already glued like about, I think it was 4 pages together at the beginning of each section, because I want a little dividing point. I'm going to make some tabs for those sections, but I'm also going to do something on the section dividers. So to start with, I'm going to lightly sand this because it's sort of shiny, and I don't know, glue may stick to it. I don't know. I just sort of feel like initially I thought I was going to have to paint here because of these square holes. But I'm going to try something. It may or may not work. But basically what I did, if you're interested, is just I'm going to lightly sand this just to get some of the sheen off. Sorry, I know that sound of sanding. I can hardly stand it. Not doing anything to any great extent because I am going to also cover it with gesso. And initially, my thought for the gesso was for the paint to stick. But I think I've changed my mind on painting. I'm going to try something and hopefully it'll work. that's enough. Put this out of the way. So, just gonna, did that on the last one too. I went ahead and did one of the covers as far as sanding and gessoing. But I found it funny that that side, that pink comes off. I'm just getting some of that dust off of there. I'm going to put this paper towel down. Yeah, and I definitely got down. Put this over here. More paper towel. I have my light in a different place, and I think it's really affecting the light on the camera. Keep trying to fix it, but I don't think it's going to get any better. I have to readjust that. Alright, so I just have a little dish, Liquitex Basics Gesso. And I'm just going to gesso the cover. Initially I thought I was going to cover it, but I didn't think I'd be able to get the paper because of these square holes, but I'm going to try something, and I hope it works. I just sort of feel like this gesso will help add some more texture to this cover for the glue to stick to. It might have worked without it, but since I did the first one like this, I'm going to do this one as well. Doesn't have to be perfect. Not going to see it. I'm covering the whole thing. Last one I think I got too much gesso on. This one I don't think I put enough gesso out. I think it'll be alright. Alright. So I'm going to prop this up over here to let it dry. This is the first one I did. I just did the same thing. Out of the way. You hear that crinkling sound? It's my dog with her toy. So, I've gone through paper and paper and paper, and finally I just decided on Timholtz, and this is what I'm going to do the outside. And I was thinking, I really love that print up there, so I'm going to try to get it. I'm just going to get this as close to the top as possible. I'm going to trace around it. To cut it out. Which might be a mistake, but that's how I'm going to do it. before when I thought I was going to paint part of this. One piece was going to be sufficient, but now that I'm going to try to cover the whole thing, I think I'll use these. I'm going to have to use 2 pieces. Well, I had a good day today. I went to, I had received gift cards for Hobby Lobby and Joann's. So I went there, got a bunch of new goodies. That was pretty much the extent of my day. Been cleaning up my craft room since the whole Christmas episode, and boy, that feels like I have a new room. But I wanted to get this project done because this is something that I will use all year, and so I wanted to get this done. I am going to do a craft room tour, and let's see, and it doesn't really matter, I don't think. I don't want to confuse. I think it's the same. Well, I'm going to make it the same. This is going to be my front. Make sure I got it right. Let's see if I need to cut any off here. I feel like the bottom's a little bit too long. Might try that with this. Because if I do it by hand, it's sort of like a bad haircut. That's what's going to happen because I can't cut a straight line. I just want to take a slither off. Maybe if I just round this like this. It's too short. Be alright. I feel like it's a little bit too long. Let me just grab another paper cutter. I saw on Amazon that Timholtz has a smaller, well, a paper cutter about this size. I'm seriously considering it just because my big paper cutter's over there, and when I'm not filming it's not an issue. I just get up and go over there, but if I'm filming then I feel like I'm abandoning you. I'm just gonna see. I don't even want it to go that far. I just feel like I need to slither off. That's good. Wonder if I should my back cover. That just really aggravates me. And I'm going to use this corner punch. May not be exact, but I think it's going to work out better than me trying to cut out rounded corners. Alright, so where'd... So this is going to be my front cover. And I'm thinking... I'm going to pause you for a second. I think I'm going to stitch around this. And my time is at 22 minutes, so I don't want my video to quit. So I'll join these together. Okay, I'm back. I've gone ahead and cut out my back and stitched around it as well. This is my idea. I was concerned about these and being able to cover it with paper or fabric or whatever I wanted to do. So I was going to paint. I'm not going to paint. I'm going to glue this down, and then, you know the old saying, you can't get a square peg in a round hole? I'm going to try to use my hole punch and just punch a round hole in the square pegs. We'll see if it works. If not, what have I lost? A cover. I can make a new cover. Alright, so what glue do I want to use? I think I'm going to use PVA. That's what I think I'm going to use. And what brush do I usually use for that? I think I'll use this one. I want to put something down here. This mat is absolutely horrible. It has paint and everything else on it, but I'm going to put this mat down. Get rid of that pencil. I'm going to try this to see if it will work or not, and hopefully this PVA will come out. Had nothing but issues with glue lately. Boy, the gesso seems to make the glue absorb. I want to make sure, I wanted to try to avoid getting a bunch of glue in my holes there, but I do want to make sure that I get that glued well. Let's get this all. Make sure my glue is everywhere. It's hard to tell now with the gesso on there if I got glue. Alright. Get this in there. Now, this is my front cover. One thing I meant to do was ink around my edges. I'll do this one after. Oh, come on, Sheila. Just love Timholtz paper. Some of this glue off of here. Now PVA, in my experience, takes longer to dry. But what I'm going to do before I put the back cover on, at least this was my idea, I'm going to try to punch, and I don't know if this is my good punch or not, but hopefully it will fit in there. And then when I put the back cover on, I'll be able to punch through the front to tell where my holes should be. I think it'll work. We're going to find out. Probably should have let that dry first, but I'm anxious to find out if it's going to work. I'll just use this or something just to sort of round those out. I think it's going to work. So I'm going to finish punching these holes so you don't have to watch all this, and I'll be back. Okay, so I punched out my holes. I did some inking around the edge and on the inside here because I noticed that my cover here for the back, a little bit of the back is going to show. So I went ahead and inked. Now I'm going to glue this on. This might show up a little bit better since that pink maybe. I don't want to get too much glue on there, but I want to make sure I got let's do the big area first. Didn't want to do that. Okay. Rid of that. It's this way. Glad I looked at that. Got glue seeping through the front there. Okay, So now I'm going to try to line this up as best as I can. And since it's for me, I feel less stress because I feel like it doesn't have to be perfect since it is just for me. The outside. Let's just ink this real quick on the inside. Should probably let that glue dry before I do that. Alright, now I want to see I should probably let that dry a little bit. Let's see. Because of my seeping glue. I think this is going to work. I'm going to let this dry a little bit more before I punch out those holes. Got a hole stuck to me. My hands are a mess. I'm going to let that dry. And I'll go ahead and cover the back. And this is why I had to mark, because I always reverse. If I put this here, that would suddenly be my inside because of where this is going to connect on the back. You get it. So the one thing I want to do is ink around here first to help cover any imperfections, hopefully. Really thought that, well, I was planning on painting this, but I thought the gesso would have covered a lot more of this than what it did. That's what I meant to get today. I wanted some black gesso. I forgot that. Boy, in Hobby Lobby today, the Christmas stuff is gone. And they've already got the spring, the Valentine's, and the St. Patrick's Day stuff out. That's what they were setting up. I was like, gee whiz, it's not even January. They keep rushing all this stuff. Before we know it, July 4th items will be out. inside. That's why I marked that, because that's exactly what I would have done. Would have glued that. And I want this to be the outside. Alright, so we're going to try to glue again. Grab some paper towel. Try to keep it off my mat so when I do the other side I don't have glue all over. That wasn't very smart, Sheila. My husband always makes dinner. Makes me feel guilty after he works all day, but you know, we don't eat like anything fancy during the week. Tonight he's making BLTs and seasoned French fries, and the BLTs he makes are delicious. So that's tonight. He was just telling me he has to work till 11 on Thursday, New Year's Eve, which, you know, not able to do a whole lot. And we haven't gone out the last few years, like for dinner or any of that on New Year's Eve. We just pretty much have stayed in just because so many people normally do go out. But we plan on, weather's supposed to be cool enough, we're going to have a fire. We're going to binge watch something. We don't know what yet, but binge watch something. And he informed me he's going to make some steaks on the grill, which will be nice. My husband's steak on the grill is better than any restaurant steak you'll ever get. And I tell everyone that, and anyone that's ever had them totally agrees. He is definitely the grill king. And I'm sorry if my head's in the camera here. Where's my, yeah, I'd rather that be on the inside there, be more hidden. I don't know why I've just always used my brayer. It just makes me feel, I don't know, like it's adhering better. So I'll have to punch my holes on this side before I can put my back on. Let's see. This needs to dry. Well, I think I'm going to have to let all of this dry before I can go on to the next step. I don't want to punch this until that's dry. I was a little bit zealous on that one and it worked, but I got a little bit more glue on this piece than the last piece. So I'm going to let this stuff dry. And then I picked out, you know, these papers at the back of the Timholtz pads. I'm going to use, I don't know what yet, but I'm going to use a couple of those for pockets for the front and the back. So when this dries, I'll see you back. I'll go ahead and finish that back cover too. I'll finish that. So I'll see you in a few. Bye.